the biggest thing is if you're not interested to critique or being challenged on your records or having somebody help you build out your records, I mean, shit, you know.
Yeah.
Me and you done fought over songs before.
Yeah.
Like tooth and nail. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not interested in that, don't fuck with me, because I'm not the one that's...
One of the biggest obstacles artists face in the music game is access. Getting access to the people that can make it happen, or access to the information and resources you need to get to the next level. That's the key. That's why you need two of the biggest in the game on your side. Introducing J.R. McKee, Boomman. Welcome to the real industrial plug. You heard me?
So again, if you're coming into a label situation,
Right.
you have to understand that your work doesn't stop. Because a lot of artists, even with independent labels, they think, okay, now boom, now I got the deal. I sit back and you do the work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it just don't go like that. And so I definitely feel you. So if you want to avoid the label hitting the brakes, you got to be the driver. The label shouldn't be in the driver's seat.
Yeah, the label got to ride shotgun. You know what I mean? You got to always be the driver.
Exactly. Okay, so speaking of which, I know everybody in this damn live right now. I know these guys. They want to know, what are you looking for?
Man, I got asked this question last week, and it's gonna sound mad stupid for A&R to say this, but I ain't looking for nothing. I never have been.
Yeah.
Like, for me in particular, the moment you start looking for something, you know, the perspective is gonna be jaded. I lose objectivity if I'm looking for something, right? But if it finds me and I'm fucking with it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you take for instance, like, if me and you talking and you like, man, I'm playing this new act crazy, shorty woody woo, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh yeah, we in the car and we listen to it. I'm like, oh, okay, it's on my trigger. Then I go to the airport and I hear somebody talking about it in a conversation. Okay, that's the second time it hit me. Then I land and then I check my playlist and he got a song. I listen to the song, it's on fire or whatnot. The universe is throwing this at me. Something about this act keeps popping up, a reoccurring conversation or whatnot. I think about Glorilla or whatnot, like shout out Hit Kid, shout out my boy Kadeem, who, you know, they kind of kicked that shit off. Yeah. I saw them last August. And when I seen it, Hit Kid, who's the executive producer and the producer of the F&F record, I text him because that's my little homie. And I text him, I say, hey big dog, like this shit is crazy. Like he had a video where they was just, it wasn't an F&F record because like I said, this was last August. But he had a record with the girls and they were just going crazy. Like there was a freestyle they had dropped. I don't even remember the name of the track. But all I saw was the energy behind that shit. Right. And they looked like something I had never seen before. And I told him, I said, man, this shit hard as a motherfucker. Like I'm typed in, you know what I'm saying? Like, and at the time I couldn't make a move on it because I had so many developing acts that I was working with that I had signed personally. Right. The way I handle business, if I owe these people my time and attention, I'm not gonna add nothing else to my plate when I know I ain't did right by them yet. Right. So I just told them like, yo, I'm gonna sit back and watch it. Fast forward 8 months, the F&F record come out. It's crazy or whatnot, but it was, you know, if anything, I just take that as like, okay, at least I knew I was in the right space. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. I had everybody else. I just didn't move on it, but that's a good sign for me because even no matter how long you stay in this, you want to know that you always still got that eye for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So if an artist is lucky enough to get to work with you, what should they expect? Like, what does it look like to work with a Norva, to work with a senior, VP? Because obviously you're working with several artists right now. Like, what is your sort of day-to-day role with them?
I think it's different. Like every A&R is gonna be different because every A&R approaches it a little differently. From me, I'm coming from the lens as a writer and a producer first. So I'm a lot more hands-on than some of my contemporaries. So the biggest thing is if you're not interested to critique or being challenged on your records or having somebody help you build out your records, I mean, shit, you know. Yeah. I mean, you done fought over songs before. Yeah. Like tooth and nail. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not interested in that, don't fuck with me because I'm not the one I'm not for you. And I tell everybody, like, when we sit down and have a conversation, let's just sit down and build with each other because you might not even fuck with me as a person. I want to sit down. I want to read you. I want to get the character. Maybe it's something about me that you ain't really fucking with. You know what I'm saying? The way I do my hair. You know what I'm saying? You might not like the way I talk or some shit like that. I want to sit down with you and see, like, as a person, can we sit down and, like, really vibe with each other? Because the biggest thing is I'm an advocate of transparency. At some point in time, I let every actor I'm sitting with, we going to have a disagreement. It ain't going to be all rainbows and unicorns and shit like that. You going to think something. I'm going to think something alternative. It's going to be a point of contention. But the thing is, like, I'm going to always show you respect, and we're going to navigate those waters together.
Right. And man, what you just said is so important because I tell a lot of artists, like, that are personal friends or, like, personal associates when they're dealing with the labels or dealing with whoever they're dealing with. When we start talking about their music, I'm like, yo, you need to be with an A&R that's actually in there making the records with you. Yeah. Not just a data A&R. There's nothing wrong with them. I love data A&Rs.
It's a lot of great ones.
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like if you're signing to a label, make sure these people know how to make music because you're not always going to have the sauce. And you don't always want to be the best in the room. You want somebody in there that's great with you. You don't want to be great and then a whole bunch of yes people. You want other great people around you. Iron sharpens iron. Yeah. So I always tell them, like, yo, make sure you're with A&Rs that really make music, man. It's so important for the longevity of your career.
It has to be. It's a lot of successful acts that don't have A&R, right? And never needed it because they got a dope team around them and creative direction. So I'm not sitting here saying that, like, you know, what I do is a one-of-one service that you can't get from nowhere else. Because if you got creatives around you that got taste, that's all you really need. You know what I'm saying? You just don't need no yes man around you.
Right.
But I think everybody has to have somebody around them willing to tell them you could do better. Yeah. And to help them curate their sound. And from the biggest acts, like, we see a lot of people, I think this current state we in right now, like 2022, and I've seen it kind of swirl around the ethos, but it's a lot of mid out here. Like, it's a lot of mid-ass
we talk a lot about it on the show, don't you worry. Right. We talk about it a lot.
That ain't no disrespect to nobody, but it's like, the bar is definitely lowered. I look at somebody who I love rapping. Like, I love Kodak. Like, I see Kodak, he did a freestyle on, Kodak just dropped a feature on somebody record. Oh, Ice Vezo. Kodak did a freestyle. I heard that. Man, that motherfucker blacking out on that verse. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's just gifted. You know what I'm saying? He's just gifted talent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He don't really need a lot of help with his shit and stuff like that because he gonna do what he gonna do. Shout out Orlando who do his shit. But, like, that's my dog. But, like, you ain't really got to, and it's a lot of acts that I've had the pleasure of working with. You don't really need too much from me, but I can kind of help you sculpt and mold the direction. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so let's talk about that. Let's talk about give us your top 3 records that, you know, you worked on and that you're proud of. Start at the bottom. Start at 3.
Records?
Yeah, top 3 records you worked on that you know what I mean?
Hard to put them in sequence like that.
Well, just give us 3 period then. Just give us 3 period.
Okay.
And we need the story behind it too.
Man.
We need the details.
You know what? I would say not even from the lens of like a record, but the best records are the ones that's the hardest to get out, right? So, like, when I think about that, I think about my little brother Lucci and just, like, helping him put together his albums. And, you know, Lucci, anybody work with Lucci, you know Lucci don't really want to hear what the fuck you gotta say about no records. Yeah. But, like, seeing him grow and evolve as an artist was always a special moment, right? So I can appreciate, like, I remember when the first time we went into the session, I probably sat around him for like 6 months just trying to let him know I wasn't his op. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'd just come in the studio and be like, yeah, what up, big? And then just sit down and then wouldn't talk to me and whatnot. You know, he'll tell my brother, oh, man, he's like, oh, man, why we got another A&R in the building? You know what I'm saying? Like, he just was like, the hazing process, and then so I appreciated when we finally got to a better place to where he would actually he wouldn't even share records with me for a long time. Yeah. So when I finally got off that island, I can say that was a proud moment. Wale's On Chill featuring Jeremiah,
that's a big one.
Because I actually co-produced that record, and that record was one because I fought so fucking hard, me and DJ Money. But I fought so fucking hard for that record to be the one. Yeah. And we went through, I remember, begging Eric Bellinger, bro, write the hook on this shit. Yeah. Just bring some life into it or whatnot. And Eric, killed the hook or whatnot, but just trying to show Wale, this will be a hit for us. And when he finally got into it, the way that record came together was so the work behind it, everything happened so last minute. Yeah, that was a record that was, cultivated for, a year before it actually manifested into something, just behind the scenes, from getting the beat or whatnot, and putting it together with my brother L Timo or whatnot, who co-produced it with me and stuff like that. That was a labor of love, but it manifested into something dope. And then I'm gonna say that the one that's at the top for me right now is probably the work I'm doing on Freddie Gibbs' album. It's not even out yet.
Not even out yet. Y'all can't hear it yet.
It's coming soon, but easily, I think it will be. And
this is his debut on the major.
Yeah, his debut on the major.
That's big. What did it take to land him? I don't mean financially, but I'm just saying what was the process?
Well, that's been my brother since we had been rocking since 2014, 15. I had tried to sign him when I was at Motown, and so we just circling each other. And like you said, we all from the crib. When you from Gary, you pretty much from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's we had just been circling, trying. Like I said, I tried to sign him. It didn't make sense. He ended up doing a collab project at RCA, Bandana, him and Mad Libs, with Tunji. Shout out Tunji. And just trying to find the right timing for us to kind of link up again and make it. And I mean, this body of work has been a little bit over 3 years in the making. So
has he been with y'all for 3 years? He been with y'all.
Yeah.
And so he just now about to put his debut out.
Yeah. I mean, we dropped Lucy's here and there. We had some records that we dropped here and there, but this will be the first major body of work. Yeah,
that's a testament of longevity. For him to be with y'all 3 years and continue to stay relevant without even dropping the album.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's a good testament to him and to y'all.
Yeah,
that's
coming.
Big.
It's coming.
Is Freddie Gibbs coming this year?
Man.
Is it coming this year or what?
We'll see, man. We'll see.
Oh my goodness.
We'll see.